Hi, today let us see what are the basics of any kind of communication. Why? Because communication is the only channel that connects to individuals, to people, to communities, to groups. That means whenever we have to get connected into any society, communication is the only media. And remember, communication is not used just by we human beings. Communication is being used by practically every being in the universe. Yes, the ways of communication are different for different people, different beings. But communication is a universal factor. And let us understand the basics of any kind of communication, because when the communication is perfect, our relationships are perfect. And we are well adjusted into any kind of environment that we are in. So, what exactly is communication? Whenever we are talking to any person, we are communicating. Right now, I am communicating with you people. That means what? I am transmitting some message. And now, when I'm transmitting the message, I am putting it across in a certain format. When I'm transmitting a message, I am putting across what I want to say, what I want to communicate. But at the same time, there is a medium through which the message goes. And then on the other end, those who are listening to me, they are the receivers. They are receiving the message. Then they are interpreting it, understanding it, and then they are forming their view on this message. That means when any kind of communication happens, a message gets transmitted, there is a medium, and then there is a receiver. So the message goes through the medium to the receiver accepts it, and then the receiver decides what exactly to do with the message. Then the receiver either may keep quiet, or the receiver may send some message in turn, which again goes through the medium and it goes back to the original sender. And this is how there is a two-way communication happens. Of course, this, what I told you, is about an open communication, two-way communication. But there are certain other ways of communication, which right now we are following whatever I'm talking. Whenever you will be listening, whenever you will be understanding, that time, maybe I will not be living over here, live over here. And you will be just receiving it. Whatever response you will be giving will be through the message. So that is a partial one-way communication, where the message is communicated to the sender. Then the sender gives a response which is received by the original sender after a few days or after some time, or whenever this receiver is ready to receive it. That is a partial communication, one way, or partial two-way communication. In case of normal free two-way communication, two people are sitting in front of each other. One person talks, the other person listens, the other person talks, first person listens, and that is a chit-chatting. Then there is another type of communication which we find in the movies or in the TV shows or in the newspapers or through the news, where there is no way for a person who is receiving to respond back. So that is purely a one-way communication. The communications are either formal or informal. Formal communications have to follow a certain format and a certain protocol through which it goes. That is a communication generally followed in the official setups. But of course, when we are into a normal, informal family setup, the formal communications are not there. So these are the basics of communication. Now, why am I telling you all about these communications? That is only because once we understand the basics of communications, then we know how we can establish perfect relations. See, one thing is there in any kind of communication. The sender is sending, the receiver is receiving. This is a simple process. The sender, medium, and receiver. But then, there are a few people who are having problem with the communication. And then we expect the other person to change the method of communication. That is not the case. Who is having problem? The person who is having problem. It is the responsibility of that person to improve upon the transmission or reception of the communication in order to mend the communication. The person who is not having problem may be sending and receiving the communication in the best way, or may be thinking that he is sending and receiving the communication in the best way. So, that person is having no problem. That means the onus of correcting the imperfect communication always falls on the person who finds it imperfect. If I am finding a communication imperfect, if I feel that somebody is not communicating properly with me, I should not go and tell that person, okay, look here, you are not communicating well. No, I need to look within. What exactly it is that is falling short in me? Am I receiving the communication rightly? Am I transmitting my views in the right way? Am I putting my point clearly? And for doing all this, the basic requirement is to quiet, to make the inner noise quiet. Let the mind be still, quiet, peaceful, and only then we will have clarity of our own thinking. Once our thinking is clear, our expression is clear. And once our expression is clear, then we are able to give and receive the communication in the best possible manner. So let us try to do it. And of course, if you need any kind of support, I'm always there. Bye.